Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with Asian Sunday. Can I just please tell our readers that this show is recorded fully compliant of all COVID regulations. Anybody that comes to our studio has to go through a COVID screening before they enter our premises. They have to fully sanitize before they're allowed in, and everything is done within 2-meter social distancing. All my guests are asked to stay in their seating position whilst filming, and once filming finishes they have to put the mask on and then obviously leave the building. So anybody thinking that they can do chats and discussions at home, my advice is not to. However, I would like to suggest please do it through video calls. You can certainly have a Zoom video chat with your friends and have virtual tea parties, virtual birthday parties, whatever you feel. So please try and prevent from mixing with each other in your households. Stay safe, keep washing your hands, and keep social distancing. So my next guest for this episode is, and I'm just going to say 2 words, security, celebrity. Hello, Rehana.
Hiya, Fatima.
You are allowed to laugh. You don't need to contain it.
I know. But thank you for the introduction. I wouldn't say I'm a celebrity, but security guard, yeah.
But the long list of celebrities that you've worked with, worked for, and done security for is huge, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I remember when I was starting out, every event that I was invited to, I was guaranteed that you would be there doing the security.
Always at the doors, that's me, Fatima. Stood at the doors, making sure everything's
and
going to
hence
plan.
Why you've now become Bradford's little own celebrity.
Okay.
I remember walking in Broadway with you, obviously pre-COVID times, and every other person we walked past was, "Hi Rehana, how are you, Rehana?" You knew at least 50% of the people shopping in that centre, and that's not a small number, is it?
I like talking to people, Fatima. I just love it. It's just the way I am. But obviously, when you're at these events, you meet so many people. So
yeah,
that's how it is, yeah. I'm just a familiar face at events. And you know how many people attend events. They're in hundreds, so you can imagine, can't you?
So as you can see, familiar and humble as well at the same time. So anyway, I want to talk to you, Rohana. Firstly, thank you so much for agreeing, because obviously that took some convincing, didn't it? For agreeing to be on my yellow sofa here today and to share your story with all our viewers. You absolutely hate being in front of the camera, I know. But I think you have such an amazing story, such an interesting story, and such an inspiring story that I think it was very important that people heard your journey. So I want to start from the very beginning. Now, you're not normally from Bradford, are you? You're not Bradford born and bred. And that's going to come as a shock to everybody, because people see you as a Bradford woman, don't they?
They do, yeah. I'm actually a Lancashire lass, me. I'm from...
So the War of the Roses.
Yes, that's me. I'm from a little town called Oldham.
Okay.
So I'm from there.
So when did you arrive in Bradford? What was the year?
I moved here about 17 years ago when my circumstances changed and I wanted a change. So I uprooted from Oldham to Bradford about 17 years ago with my 3 children. And to me, it was the best move that I did, because I just needed to be with me and my kids. So yeah, that was the reason why I moved here.
What made you choose Bradford, and what was your very first early years in Bradford like?
I chose Bradford because I had family here. So obviously the family that was in Oldham, they would have been happy with me to move somewhere where my family was. So I had some family in Bradford, so I moved here. But at the beginning, it was really hard because obviously I had my 3 little children. Like I said, my circumstances had changed and I didn't know anybody. Mentally, I was a bit down, so I had to sort of like, the first couple of years I just stayed in and just finding myself really, and then after that I was fine. After about a couple of years, then I was okay, and then from then I started going out, because obviously with the kids, getting them into schools, going in and out, meeting people on the way that I enjoy, speaking to people on the way, meeting other parents with their children. The schoolyard, I used to love it, meeting parents, talking to them for like, after the kids had gone in or I'd pick them up, we'd be chatting away for about a good half an hour. So yeah, that was really good. Yeah, that was nice.
You say it took you a couple of years to find your feet here in Bradford. It must
Yeah.
have been difficult for you because 17 years ago, especially women in our communities and our culture, Muslim women,
Yeah.
once they've separated and they've got 3 children, they're on their own, they didn't, in those days, get much support. And they were sort of sometimes as well, you know, seen negatively. What was your experience like for you? Did you get the support that you needed, or did you really have to fight for your independence and to be where you are today?
I think, you know, when I think about it, I think I was a bit, I didn't want the help, you know, I wanted to deal with it myself, even though
You wanted to prove that you could stand on your
that
own
I
feet
could
on
do it
your own.
myself. Yeah, I didn't want to ask for help. I wanted to just do it all myself. And I think that's why it took a couple of years. And because I find it hard getting help. I don't know why. I don't like asking. And I should able to, but I just didn't want to ask. I wanted to do it all myself.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it took, you know, that long. But once you know, I was
Yeah.
okay, I was fine then. I was, you know, once the kids were settled,
Yeah.
going to schools and getting to know the area that I was in, it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was okay. Yeah,
Yeah. And you're a bit of a tough cookie, aren't you?
am I? I hear it all the time. Yeah, but I don't know, am I?
So, you know, to obviously find your own feet, not take help from nobody, and want to prove to everybody that you can do this and raise 3 kids who are very, very young at that time.
Yes, they were. Yeah.
And who all have done very well in their lives.
Alhamdulillah, yeah, they have.
You know, you obviously had to be very strong, but you showed your super strength in terms of the career that you moved to.
I did, yeah,
So,
I did.
So SIA, tell everybody what is SIA and what do you do?
Well, SIA is obviously security industry that people have to get qualified in.
Yeah.
And it's basically in the security sector. And I wanted to be, believe it or not, Fatima, I wanted to be a policewoman in the 80s, but I was too short. So they had height restrictions then, but they don't anymore. But obviously when I wanted to do it, I couldn't do it. So for me, because I didn't have the time to get degrees and get qualified, because I had 3 little children at home that I was bringing up, mentally I couldn't, you know, learn things. I'm not a pen and paper person. I'm more of a practical person. So for me, applying for the security badge and doing the course was fast-tracked for me and a lot easier for me to do. And I think my attitude sort of like went with the work, because even though when I didn't have the security badge, I was always sorting people out outside, you know, if there were like some beef, if there was some argument outside or some domestic was happening, I'd be there sorting it out, do you know what I mean? So it was like, now I've just got the badge and, you know, I've got the authority to do so, you know, to diffuse situations. So that's why I went into that field, because I thought it goes with my character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were doing it naturally within the community. Whenever you saw a situation, you stepped in to try and diffuse it.
Yeah.
And then you got professionally trained to do it.
I did, yes. Yeah, I did.
And how many years has it been now since you've been in this industry?
I'd say it's about touching 15 years.
15, wow.
Yeah, because I did it as soon as I moved here.
Yeah.
I sort of like went into it after a couple of years.
Yeah.
And so it's been that long, yeah.
And who would you say has been the highest profile individual or group of people that you've had to do security for? You can't mention me, obviously.
Fatima, I was going to say your name, honestly.
Whatever, it's all right.
Fatima Patel from Asian Style magazine, that I know you as, I'd say would be the high profile person that I'm not joking. Oh, God, with celebrities, you know, sometimes, you know, celebrities, I forget the names, and most of them, you know, Fatima, that I've done
Well, I
security.
remember you doing it for Ranveer Singh when he came to Bradford,
Oh
and
my God,
that was
yeah.
crazy because he ran into the crowd, didn't he? And you
Yeah,
all had to
we
go
had to,
and
we had
get
to
him
hold him back. What you doing? What you doing? You know, with the lads, it was, oh my God, it was funny.
Yeah.
What we have to go through, it's unbelievable, honestly. These celebs, what they put us through, but yeah, I was Shah Rukh Khan. I did a bit when I was in Manchester.
Yeah.
Um, oh God, there's quite a few. I can't remember.
Yeah. That's what happens when you sit on this
No,
sofa.
you know, because
You get put on
most
the
of the
spot.
time I'll be with the celebrities, and then later on I'll find out, oh my God, was that him? Was that her? I listen to her songs. I need to do my research before I even meet the people.
Well,
That's what I
I
need to
think
do.
I remember some of them because I was at some of the events with you. I remember Faryal. Do you remember Faryal when
Oh, for real,
we had
yeah.
to manage security for
Yes,
her?
we did
But
at the.
I wasn't managing security. I was there to host. But then the crowd became such
Oh
that
my God, yeah, they were really wild, weren't they?
we both ended up being
We were like going
yeah,
like that,
it was
but
crazy.
yeah, we managed it though, didn't we?
Yeah.
We sort of like
And then that's why I
diffused
said
it,
you
and
became a celebrity because on Faryal's Snapchat, it's just you all over it.
yeah, we met somewhere, and I didn't have Snapchat then. I didn't even know what Snapchat was.
Yeah.
And she had me on her Snapchat saying my favourite female security guard, and I went, oh, that was nice of her.
Yeah. Faryal, by the way, we're referring to Amir Khan, the boxer's wife, Faryal
Yeah,
Maktoum. So
yeah,
for those people who are watching and don't know who we're
yeah.
referring to. So yeah, it's been an interesting one, hasn't it? And it must be really sort of difficult because sometimes you might meet a star that you yourself are a fan of, but you can't take pictures with them because you're there to protect them, so to speak, and to do your job and be professional.
Yeah.
How do you manage to keep that conduct, and how do you manage to? Because I know you as a giggly person, so how do you manage to keep a straight face all the time?
Well, when you start, obviously, when you're in that mode of being a security guard, all of a sudden it's that tunnel vision, and you just see, you know, the stars and yourself, and you've got to, you've got to be professional, and you've got to keep a straight face. But I'm very quick in getting my phone out and taking a selfie. Not even the celebrity knows that I'm taking the picture because I do it that quick. I'm that used to it now. And the other people are still thinking, can we take a selfie? Get your phone out if you want to do it, and just do it. This is not the time to think about it. Obviously, they've got to line up, but the ones that are in the team, you've just got to do it quick. And I'm very good at taking selfies really quickly.
And that's why you're known as a selfie queen, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
Everybody knows you for all those selfie pictures that you've got all over your social media.
I know, I just love my selfies, honestly.
So, selfies. Let's talk about young people now. You've now moved into a brand new role, haven't you?
I have,
and you've
yeah.
gone into teaching.
Yeah.
And you're trying to support those young people with behavioural
Challenging behaviour.
challenging behaviour. You've only recently started working in that environment.
I have, yeah.
But what made you want to transition from security to that?
What it is, Fatima, there's a lot of kids out there that are very vulnerable, and then there's a group of kids that, the ones that bully,
Yeah.
and I don't like bullies. I don't know. I got bullied when I was at school, believe it or not, and I know how it is. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to sort of like, the qualities that I've got in me with the security background that I've got, and being able to diffuse situations, I wanted to go into schools, and that's how I could do it. So from going into the classroom teaching setting, I got into the schools by doing that, and then now I work on the pastoral teams, which is with students with challenging behaviour. And I know how to work with them, and I know how to listen to them, and I know how to deal with them. Because first of all, you've got to try not to belittle them, because you don't know what's happening in the home. You don't know what lifestyle they've got, and they're coming into schools and they're taking it out on the teachers, or they're lashing out, in schools because they can't at home, nobody's listening to them. So you've got to go on their level, and you've got to listen to them. So it's the qualities that I've got, and it actually helps as well, and they listen. So that's why I chose to get into schools. So I had to get qualified for that. I was finding it really hard to get in. So I did a few fast track courses, and with the help of our very good friend Said, who's got a training company, and I did my courses there, and then I went into schools like that. So, and I'm loving it.
And
yeah.
what kind of situations have you had to deal with working in the schools, without giving anything away explicitly, but any things that you could share with us?
You know, when I didn't know this was happening, because obviously, you know, when things have changed so much in schools that, you know, it's unbelievable. Like, students are allowed to walk out of classrooms. Teachers can't say anything. So that's when the pastoral team comes in, because we have our radios on us. We've got to come in. Teachers at that point can't do nothing. If they walk out, then that's when we come on board. They are now walking in the corridors. We've got to make sure they're not going to do anything to the other students as they're walking or disrupting any other classes. We get alerted on the radio, such a person is somewhere at this corridor. Can you make sure you escort them out the building if they want to leave? We can't even stop them if they want to leave.
Really?
We can't stop them. If they want to leave, they've got to leave. We just got to alert the parents that, look, this is what's
And
happened.
what age group is this that you're?
I work in upper schools. That's the age group that I enjoy working with, which is from they start from year 7, don't they? But I work with year 9, 10 and 11, which is the age that I believe that they rebel more at that age. 7 and 8, they're innocent, but they're looking at the 9s and 10s. They're learning from them, and then that's where they start rebelling. But the year 7 and 8, which is the first 2 years of high school, they're still innocent. They don't know what they're doing. So it's the 9 and the 10s and the 11s that you've got to keep your eye on. And I love working with them, Fatima. Honestly, I love it. It's a challenge, but I love working with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say has been your most challenging in that environment till date situation?
In schools?
Yeah.
Do you know when they start swearing at you and they start giving you abuse, verbal abuse? You can't do anything. You've just got to listen to them and just say, look, can you calm down, please? Do you want a glass of water? Do you want to sit down? So even though you're getting the verbal abuse from the students, you can't really do anything. Not like a security
How
guard,
do you
physically, you know, frisk them. I'm trying to get that allowed in schools, but obviously I don't think that'll be allowed as a joke. But you know, that's only with adults. But obviously the minors aren't. The children, you
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah.
But as a parent, you know, when you tell your kids off, you start like saying, "Stop doing this, stop doing that," you know. But you can't do that with students.
Yeah.
But you've got to have a thick
But how
skin.
do you keep your composure? Because it's really hard. If somebody was giving me abuse like that, I don't think I'd be able to tolerate it.
Do you know, I've actually heard them say it to another teacher where I've stood next to them, making sure that they're not going to do anything. But I've been lucky that these students haven't really done it to me, because I think they're doing it more with the teachers because they're in the classroom with the teachers and they're getting told what to do. So when I come into place, it's just calming them down and they tend to listen. But they have it more with the teachers that are teaching them, and if they can't do the work, they just take it out on the teachers.
So your role's quite important then. It's very important, and it's more of a support for the teachers, isn't it?
It is. It supports the teachers
So
quite
they
a
can
lot.
lean on you
Yeah.
to help diffuse these kind of situations in the
yeah.
classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah. And then there's some students that listen. You know, they just want the attention. But you know, they're good. They're good. You know, in their own little ways. They're actually really good. They just want the attention the wrong way. That's all. And we've just got to listen to them.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You know.
Yeah. Amazing.
So,
Sounds wonderful.
yeah.
Obviously now with COVID, things are different. You're not in the school environment anymore.
No,
Most of them at home.
Schools are shut, aren't they now?
So parents are having to deal with some of these
yeah.
challenging behaviour at home.
Yeah.
And I noticed that you put a message up on social media.
I did. Yeah.
Because you wanted to do more to support parents at home, because now they're having to obviously deal with that, and especially with COVID, because children are not allowed to go out and socialise and meet friends and things like that. So it's making it a lot more harder.
It is. Yeah.
So your social media posts that you put out, reaching out to parents, asking, you know, and providing help and support from your side. How are you planning to do that? What is it that parents can expect from you? What is it that you can help them with?
So Fatima, do you know when it started last year in March? I was supporting a few parents then as well when it all started, but I didn't tell anybody because I thought I want to see how it goes. So what I did was, when it went really, really well, I then obviously put the post up what you've just mentioned, and I've got a few more parents. So what I've been doing is, because I know these parents on a professional level, with their permission, with them being in the room, I'll say, look, if you want a video call and I can speak to them, first I'll build my rapport on speaking with them, with the children. Some of the kids I'll know anyway because I know the parents. Then they'll know me, who I am, because it's Auntie Rohana, and they know some of them will call me Miss because I worked in the schools. So they know who I am, and what will happen is when the parents are telling them to do something, they're not listening. They're saying, should we tell Miss Rohana or should we tell, Auntie Rohana? And they say, oh, no, don't. So that helps as well. And with some of them, it's like I'll be FaceTiming and I'll be like saying, why are you not listening to your mum? What's up? Don't do this, don't do that. So it's quite sad that, they're not listening to the parents, but they're listening to me because I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
And then they're scared of me because I'm a security guard. They know me as.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I can help, I'll help,
Yeah.
And if that works, I'll do that.